Excuse me. Order in the cosmic court. What's up, positive bitches? Today, I am stating my case. Welcome. This is CiiCii versus the culture. If you are sensitivo, if you lead with an open heart, maybe you're a lover girl, a lover boy, a lover whatever, I don't care if you are a cucumber. If you want to walk through this realm, existing in love, giving, receiving, broadcasting love, this is going to be your survival guide. Now, you know me, and I actually don't like to just survive. So really, this is going to lead you to thriving in your most magnetic timeline. But you know, we have to give it some sort of title. I hear so many people saying, oh, I want a woman in her divine feminine. I don't think anyone knows what that means anymore. I think we're having doublespeak. I think we're making things up. Guess what? If you want a woman steeped, dripping in her divine feminine, guess what that woman does? She holds herself in accordance to the highest standard, one that's in alignment with the divine. If you want to enter her world, be prepared to also be held to that same standard. A woman who embraces her divine feminine is not necessarily the funnest person to date. She actually has boundaries. She speaks her mind freely. She expresses her needs. A woman steeped in her divine feminine might not necessarily be your version of fun, but she is a frequency that will unlock your highest timeline, one where you understand how to honor the divine within, how to meet your potential and expand into places you did not think was accessible to you. Divine feminines, they are not here to mother grown men. They are here to be worshipped by a man who already worships the divine within himself. If a man is not emotionally safe, spiritually evolved, and aligned with God, they cannot date a divine feminine. It will be a walking, living, breathing hell for them. However, if they try, a divine feminine energy is very heart open. She will allow them to enter her realm. She will offer spiritual protection. But eventually, if that man shows he cannot rise to the occasion, she will then have to protect herself and remove him from her orbit. The divine feminine does not shrink. She summons the life she knows she's meant to have. She does not coddle wounded egos. She holds her standard high and demands that the divine within that masculine energy rises to meet her. She calls forth the divine within sleeping boys, but she will not beg them to awake. So if they reject her, she understands this is not personal, this is vibrational. They're actually rejecting their own evolution, their own expansion. Because when a divine feminine enters a man's life, she will magnify whatever energy he's sitting in. If he's in his light, she's going to magnify it. It will be great. If he's in his darkness, she will magnify it. It's going to break his ego. If he cannot stand in her presence, she knows what she must do. She must walk away. I'm going to give you steps to align with your either divine feminine or divine masculine, how to lead with love in this world that really does not honor and have reverence for people who are sensitive or have an open heart. And I'm going to show you how to create the most loving, the most beautiful, the most romantic reality. Before we get into it, if you've not yet followed me on Instagram, be sure to follow me at Vibin with CiiCii. The link will be in the show notes. Get your copy of Show Up As Her to learn how to quantum leap. I have a plethora of different courses. An amazing course to pair with this will be the Pedestal Path, and the perfect workbook will be the Healing the Divine Feminine workbook. All these links are in the show notes. If you do want to work one-on-one with me, I have some options available. DM me on Instagram and we can chat more there. But without further ado, let's get into today's episode. The case I want to state to you today is that being in your divine feminine, if you are a feminine, is your power. Being in your divine masculine, if you're a masculine, is your power. While we both have the divine feminine and masculine within us, We choose to lead with one of these energies most of the time. And you know what is at your core because you feel the best in that energy. We have been told as women to become more like men. Oh, you want to become more powerful? Okay, climb the corporate ladder. Live in accordance to the sun and ignore that you are a moon being on a 28-day cycle. We don't get a boost of testosterone every single morning like these men do. We are not meant to live in the same fashion that they exist. They told us if you want to have more power, sleep around, do what they do. We have been misled, misguided, and I have hated to see what has happened in today's culture. Women pursuing men, women completely depleted, exhausted, unplugged from their intuition. We are on birth control, not even understanding our own cycles, our own body's wisdom in that luteal phase, that menstruation phase. That's when you are your most psychic, and they have taken that away from you. I'm not a doctor, but I'm a woman, and I have a brain and I have intuition, and I can see exactly what's happening. Can you? This is your invitation to step back into your power, not try to be in an energy that is not you. This is your invitation to sit on your throne in your core essence. The first step to being a lover girl, steeped in her divine feminine energy, is realizing that she doesn't have to become something else in order to become more powerful. The divine feminine is the creator and the destroyer. She might be soft, but she is fierce. The reason I'm the perfect person to bring this case to you today is because I have left so many relationships, so many connections. I didn't want to leave any of them, but I knew that they were not right. And I knew that because I listened to my body's wisdom. I, in leaving these relationships, acted not out of hate or anger or resentment. I acted out of love. I love myself enough to know to walk away when something isn't in alignment. And I love that other person enough to set them free so they can find who's theirs under their divine right. I'm not single because of a lack of love. I am single because I have so much love, and I am unwilling to bleed on people, to hold them on a shelf when I know they're not mine, just because I'm lonely, just because I don't want to have to face myself. And I am so disheartened to see the amount of people who walk around this realm and will have you as a placeholder just because they're unwilling to recognize their own self. Out of love for myself, I refuse to settle. Out of love for other people, I set them free to find what is theirs. The lover girl is not desperate. She is devoted to the divine. She is devoted to the love frequency. And most of all, she is devoted to her intuition, to listening to what the divine is telling her and taking action even when maybe she doesn't want to. A lover girl doesn't just love people. She loves what she deserves. She loves her vision. She loves her mission. She loves her standard. She loves her boundaries. She loves everything that she's creating in her reality because she knows it's in service of her dream. So when a lover girl sees red flags, she listens to them in devotion to her vision, to herself, to her intuition. Red flags are not ignored by lover girls because, oh, they want to love, they want to love, they want to love. No. Red flags are instructions from God. That is God showing you everything you need to see. As a lover girl, it's imperative that you are saying this source code daily. God, give me eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart full of discernment so I can see this situation for what it is. And on top of that, God, give me the strength to do what is for my highest good. Because sometimes we see the red flags, but we don't feel like we're ready to remove this person from our orbit. And maybe you're saying to yourself, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Stop lying to yourself. The worst thing you could do is betray yourself by lying to yourself. Maybe you're not ready to remove them because you're scared. Maybe you're not ready to remove them because you don't want to be alone. But you know exactly what you need to do. I don't know doesn't really exist to a lover girl. Because even when she is scared, she acts with courage, out of love for herself, out of respect for the other person, and out of love for God. Being single is not a punishment. It's not a curse. It's preparation for alignment. It's a blessing for you to get to know who you even are. In your single season, that is a gift to recognize the energy you condensed and formed into this 3D being to embody. In your future, you might be busy with kids or marriage or whatever you desire. You might never have this much time with yourself ever again. Out of love and respect for your own soul, realize this is not punishment. This is a blessing. A blessing for you to get to know yourself. A blessing for you to discover what you like, what you don't like. A blessing to take a seat and really, truly go into the depths of yourself and find what you yearn for. There's a reason so many people are breaking off engagements or getting divorced. There's a reason why we're seeing a lot of relationships this year break up. It's because people don't take time to get to know themselves. They're not lover people. They instead are seduced by the 3D and just grabs whatever they think can give them comfort. As lover girls, we walk with our head up high. We know that God is our supply. We do not worry. We have faith. And that's why we're able to sit in these seasons, discover, learn, understand, hear, notice. Number 2, from the Lover Girl's Survival Guide. A lover girl romanticizes her own life. I don't know why we assume that we can only be in love if we have a partner for an intimate relationship. Baby, I'm in love with myself, with my world. I'm in love with the divine. I'm in love with knowledge. I'm in love with learning. I'm in love with discovering. I'm in love with this incarnation. It's not, I have to do this for myself. I just have to get through this. It's, I get to be devoted to me. What a blessing. Fall in love with your own world. And if you are saying, CiiCii, I don't like anything, and that's why I'm running into a relationship, that is a sign in itself. Your body is trying to tell you, hey, we got to fix some things in your own reality. You don't want to be in a relationship where that's the only thing that's giving you happiness. I have been there. When I wasn't a lover girl, I was a hurt girl. I was hurting and I only got a sense of validation, worth, and love from that relationship. So when he left, my whole entire world crumbled. In the end, it was for the greatest good because I had a spiritual awakening. But I went through that. You don't have to. You get to hear my story, my knowledge, my wisdom, so that you don't have to take as long as I did, so that you don't have to go through what I went through. Take this and receive it and breathe it into your being. Fall in love with your own world, and if you don't like it, create a world in which you do. Because people are always going to offer you to step into their world. But what is better than creating your own and then getting to live in it? It's your very own Disney World. You get to do this because you are devoted to yourself. Make your daily routine a ritual. Infuse it with words, with affirmations. Give love to your friends, your family, the divine, your workouts. Light a candle for yourself. Take yourself out on a date, for a walk. Romanticize yourself. I want to reiterate, you might never have this level of freedom ever again, so please don't waste it. I've come to realize that love is not something you just give or receive. It's something you get to broadcast. I drive and I'm sending out love beams to the people next to me. When I walk, I'm sending out love beams to the people I pass by, and I'm happy. I do this because it genuinely makes me feel good. It genuinely makes me feel better. I don't have to rely on just one person to give me love. I get to choose to embody love and broadcast love and show love to others. I get to water my friendships right now. I didn't get that opportunity for 7 years because I was codependent and anxious. And now I'm meeting the most beautiful, wonderful women, and I get to give love to those relationships. And moving forward, I will never, never push my friendships that are female aside for a relationship. Because as a lover girl, I get to have both. I get to have soulmate friendships and soulmate relationships that are intimate. Step 3 of your lover girl, lover boy, lover whatever survival guide. Alchemize your energy. Your power isn't in trying to change them and trying to mother them and trying to ignore the red flags. Your power lies in changing your position away from them, removing them from your orbit, deciding, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. And when you decide out of love to walk away, you no longer have to hold yourself in a lower vibration of begging, of hoping to receive, of asking to be chosen. You get to instead use your energy to fuel a life you want to exist within. Whether you're feeling chosen or you're begging for love, whether you feel happiness or sadness, all energy is just energy. Yes, it's different in degree, but it can all be used as fuel. How do you want to use your energy? Do you want to keep begging him to stop cheating on you? Do you want to keep begging him to hear you? Do you want to keep begging him to not possess you, to not control you? Or do you want to just take power back and say, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. No one can harvest your energy unless you allow them. No one can take your energy unless you hand it over to them. You've always had the power. Why are you giving it away to someone who doesn't give you what you truly desire back? There's a reason you feel off. There's a reason you crave more. You're meant to have more. And when you say no to less, whether it's your relationship or your career, you get to receive more. Alchemize your energy. As someone who is sensitive, I'm not going to walk around this planet trying to close myself off, being afraid to connect, being afraid to love because I might get hurt. I came to planet Earth to feel the full range of human emotion, and by God, I'm going to do it. Now, when I feel pain, I just say to myself, evidence of being a human. Now, when I feel pain, I just say, evidence of being alive. Evidence of being alive. Okay, I'm feeling pain around that connection. Evidence of being alive. Maybe I'm having pain during a workout. Evidence of being alive. Pain is not something that's going to dictate my action, because sometimes you have to do the painful thing in the moment to have pleasure permanently. Sometimes you have to do the painful thing because it's in service of your mission, of your vision, of yourself. It's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. And by the way, no one promised you that. And if they did, they don't know what they're talking about. This realm is one where you're growing, you're learning, you're evolving. And sometimes the right decision won't even feel good, but it's still the right decision if it's made out of love. Transmute your pain into power by choosing to focus on things that are going to give you a high return on investment. Transmute your mess into your message by getting creative. Look at Taylor Swift. Look at any person who took something that hurt them and wrote about it, or created a movie or a TikTok, or use that pain and channel it into fuel at the workout class. Get hotter and healthier at your job. Make more money. Be able to financially support yourself so you don't feel reliant on another person. If they are unable to meet the divine within you, it's because they're unable to meet the divine within themselves. And if they can't elevate with you, you have two options. They're either going to drag you down and you'll have to be capped by their vibration, and you have free will, so decide whatever you want. Or, second option, is they're just going to fall off naturally because you had to choose yourself. This is your game of life. Choose how you want to live. Your energy is your currency. You have to channel it wisely. Someone trauma dumping on you, someone needing you to mother them, someone trying to always fight with you, that is all energy harvesting. And I have to say, since I've released myself from this past connection out of love, and I still have love for that person, and I always will, I had this resurgence of energy come through my being. I have more energy to create, to focus, and I feel better because so much of my energy was going to a source where it wasn't being fully replenished. And instead of someone seeing me in my light, they were triggering my ego. I was going back into past programming. I was not being perfect either. And I was constantly anxious, constantly trying to be seen as who I am instead of the filters of that person. I was constantly trying to say, no, that's not who I am. I would never do that. This is who I am. This is how I operate. But instead of doing that or trying to make them feel better, I now have all of this energy to channel wisely. Now, this was only 2 months for me. Don't make something be 2 years for you because we do it. We do it. Don't take 2 years to then realize, oh my God, what happened to my skin? What happened to my body? I can't digest anything. I'm having hives. My hair is thinning. The wrong man will make a lover girl ugly. The wrong woman will make a lover boy ugly. This is what happens because we're constantly getting triggered into a fight or flight state. We're constantly in our sympathetic nervous system. And over time, that creates dis-ease in your body because you are never at ease. And it will have an effect on you. You have to take that future point of how this relationship is going to affect you in the long run and see it now. Listen, one day, none of us are going to be here anymore. You have to really get in the saddle and pony on up. How do you want to live life? You only have so much time. It's not worth investing all of your energy into places that are hurting you rather than building you. Number 4, do not feel inferior. Get turned off. Whenever I've seen a man in a relationship with me, and I talk from a female point of view because I am one, instead of saying, all men are trash, all men are like this, because I know that's not going to help me. I know my statements, if I repeat them consistently, are going to become my beliefs. And I know my beliefs build my world. Why would I encode a negative reality because there's one guy who's kind of shitty? Why would I screw myself over because someone did me dirty? Why would I do that? Instead, I've realized that some dogs are vicious. Not all dogs are. Some women are really jealous. Not all women are. Some men are not great, but that doesn't apply to all of them. Whenever someone acts in a way that just doesn't feel right to me, whenever I feel like I'm on the other end of treatment I don't like, instead of saying all men are trash or all like this and really anchoring my vibration so low, I instead just say to myself, ew, my husband would never do that. My husband would never speak to me like that. My husband would fight for me. My husband would be able to see me clearly. My husband, if he has a problem, if he has a boundary, if he has a need, he's going to speak to me openly and lovingly. My husband would never do what these other people have done. And now, instead of me getting upset and dragging my vibration down and building up negative beliefs that are going to affect my reality, I'm actually raising my frequency and getting so excited and bringing that divine counterpart closer to me. When someone disrespects me, that is not a debate, that's a disqualification. You want to come at me crazy? Go be crazy over there. Because I will not allow my emotions for someone to outweigh my self-respect. I just now receive the ick. And what is the ick? I break it down as intuitive cognitive knowing. It's when your intuition and your brain finally line up and you say, oh yeah, what am I doing? I have to get out of here. This is not right. Because what do we usually do? We might have an intuitive feeling of, I don't think this is right. I don't know. But then we tell ourselves, but they're good on paper. But they have this, but they have that, but they have that. No. The ick is when finally your brain and your intuition are coherent and you can walk out of the situation. You might be crying because you're a lover girl. You might be upset because you're a lover boy. You might have a lot of feelings blasting through your body. That is always going to happen if you're a sensitive person, but that doesn't mean you made the wrong decision. It just means you feel intensely. Number 5 from the Lover Girl Survival Guide is actually something I heard from someone I deeply love and respect. Her name is Britta Doubles, and her TikTok is Goddess Resurrection. This is someone I know in my personal life, and I really value her, and she is great. So you can find her on TikTok. I was watching one of her videos where someone asked, what happens if your divine counterpart doesn't keep up with you? And this is something she has told me multiple times. If your divine counterpart doesn't keep up with you, that's it. There's nothing really you can do. You can't force them to change. If they're choosing their shadows, if they're choosing to get distracted by the 3D, if they're being controlled by their ego, you can't force them out of that. That is their choice. They are also on their own spiritual journey. They get to choose how they want to be, whether they want to be anchored down by darkness or rise to meet you. But what Britta said is that there's always a backup, that this energetic universe is so expansive and so convoluted, and our mind could not properly conceive how all of these things are always being connected and how all of these things are aligning for us. It's like a captain on a ship. He must have a radar to show him all of the things around the boat because he cannot see everything just from his line of sight. So he needs a radar. The universe is our radar. And if someone doesn't work out, it's already aligning someone else. She said that there are backup souls that we will love just as much. There are backup souls that we will feel even more closeness to, even more in alignment to. And I believe this not only because I know Britta and I know how intelligent and connected she is, but because I've seen this in my own life. Every time I walk away from a relationship, it is never easy for me because of who I am at my core, which is someone who is a lover girl. I want people to stay around forever. I want to love everyone forever. That's not my journey. My journey has been more so that of a snake, where I'm constantly shedding people and scenario and environments. Leaving is never easy. However, it has become so much more easy for me because I've now realized, yes, there's always a backup soul. If it's not this person, it's going to be someone better. If it's them, beautiful. If it's not, great, even better. Someone more in alignment. Someone who is maybe more on the same page as me. Someone who sees the world closer to how I see it. And I like to joke and poke fun, but maybe it's someone hotter, richer, more funny, we'll take it. It's a joke, but also not really. As lover people, we don't panic, we pivot because we understand energetic law. We're not like these other people who are getting seduced by their 3D, who's running from one relationship to the next. We are not like them. We know that every single time we breathe, something's being aligned for us. And it's getting closer. You are not meant to settle as a lover. You are meant to keep selecting. And that's how the energetic universe works. It's going to constantly be giving you different options. It will prepare this, and then you have to say yes or no. Then it's going to prepare this, and you'll have to say yes or no. And as I've moved through dating, I've realized every single person has gotten closer to what it is I truly want. Part of that is I'm getting more clear on what I desire in a relationship. So my broadcast is more clear. So the universe knows what to give me. Before, if I didn't really know what I wanted, it's like going to a restaurant and telling a waiter, I'll take the chicken parm. Actually, the Caesar salad. Actually, I'm going to go with the beet salad. Maybe steak. The waiter wouldn't know what to get me. So if you don't know what you want, that's why being single is a beautiful season, because you get to figure out what it is you do want. And you get to clear your broadcast to make it so obvious to the universe exactly what you're calling in. As I've moved from one person, one relationship to the next, I've gotten a better match because I'm getting clearer in what it is I truly desire. You are not meant to settle. You are meant to be selective. So keep selecting. And as you're on this journey, you're going to notice that you go from wanting something to I absolutely know I'm worthy of it. And that's what makes the difference. Prior, I wanted a protector, a provider, someone who understands God, is on the same similar spiritual journey that I am. And I wanted these things. But it wasn't until I experienced certain relationships that I said, I will absolutely not settle for anything less than this. So now it's not just a mind want. It's an embodiment. It's a broadcast. It's, I know what I'm worthy of, and I will not allow anything less. And that clears your channel so the universe knows exactly what to give you. No longer are you seeing a protector and a provider as something that's above you. You're literally embodying, I will not receive anything less. And when you are in that energy, that is when you attract everything, because you're not begging to be chosen. You're not pleading with the divine. You are praising your own connection to the divine and saying, I know that I am a royal heir of God himself. I know how divine I am. I know how worthy I am, and I will not allow anything less. The other day, I got a channel, and it was the song, Isn't She Lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? You don't realize how precious you are. You can't go to the store and buy another soul. You can't go to the supermarket and get a soul. That is why the devil is willing to trade you anything from this 3D reality for your soul. It's a trick. He's trying to trick you that these things are as valuable as your soul. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life. But the devil is a trickster. The devil trying to convince you that you're not worthy of that relationship, that career, or whatever it may be, is doing so because he's trying to seduce you into the illusion that your soul is of this world. It is not of this world. You might be currently existing within this world. You might be having a human experience, but you are not of it. You're simply in it. And there's nothing more valuable, more precious, more special than your soul. So you do not break your soul for another person. And sometimes the divine is going to break your heart so your soul stays intact. Sometimes the divine is going to break open that ego so your soul does not. You have to realize that you are very valuable. You know the divine? Ooh, better be careful, because now the negative entities, they know about you too. They know about you too. And as I said, it's not all love and light. There's a lot of polarity in this planet. So the dark forces will try to convince you that you are not good enough, that you are not worthy, that you can't have what it is you want. It's a lie. Number 6, you have to raise your perspective from your human eyes to your higher self, to your soul's eye, realizing that no man is your friend, no man is your enemy. Every single man is what? The portal to the next version, the next evolution of yourself. We have so many different soulmates, and we've talked about this in past podcasts. Last week, I literally talked about a karmic type of soulmate, where they come in to remind you of who you used to be. They come in to trigger you. They come in so that you are able to shed past programming. You can't ascend if you're being weighed down by all of these programs that are no longer in alignment with you. Some men come to awaken you. Some men come to break that ego open. Some men come to teach you what you don't want so you can clarify what you do, but they're all just portals. You have to look at each connection with respect. And that is what allows me to float above the noise, to rise above polarity. Even in this last connection, I could get mad. I could think about the things that went down. I could be like, damn, that was disrespectful. But instead, I'm like, I have so much respect for his soul coming into my reality, that we had a soul contract together, that we as souls wanted to come to this planet and work together. That makes me love. I am so grateful. I'm grateful to the God. I'm grateful to this soul. Maybe I don't love how his human self is treating me, and that's fine. I can remove him from my orbit. But I'm thankful for eternity that he came in and he reminded me who I am and what I'm no longer willing to tolerate. Who did you become because of that person? What portal did you step through because of that person? How much better did your life become after the fact because of that person? And we can honor they're disrespectful, they're rude, they did not treat me right. So we remove them. But after the fact, after we feel the sadness, the grief, the anger, where can you put reverence? Put respect on what that connection did for you. Because if you look for a lesson, you will surely find one. If you look back, you'll understand why the dots had to connect in that way. There's something going on that's far stranger than the human mind could ever understand. It's quite mystical, beyond our comprehension. Start having respect for the mystical unfolding, the miracle unfolding that's happening in your life, because it's pulling you into your most powerful magnetic self. Number 7, less access, especially to energy harvesters. But you have to realize that as someone who leads with love, you're a very bright light. So people who need that light, the energy harvesters, the narcissists, the people who are hurting, are going to subconsciously be attracted to you. This means you cannot be open and willing to connect to just everyone and anyone, because then you will be on a roller coaster for the rest of your life. I don't like the apps. I know that they work for some people. But if you have been attracted to this podcast, I don't think you're like most people. And I think that the vibration, the frequency of the app and the people it attracts does not resonate with me, at least. And it might not resonate with you. At the end of the day, you have to decide with your own intuition if it works for you or not. That's not for me to tell you. That's something for you to feel into. From my own understanding, the apps don't resonate with me. I don't want someone having access to me just because they swiped on me. I don't want someone having access to me because they downloaded something. I am a frequency that is earned through respect. I am not something that can just be downloaded and swiped on. As a lover girl, you cannot be giving people access, not just to your time and your presence and your energy, but your body. Your body is a temple, not a drive-through. Your body is a gateway, not a gas station. When you give your body to just anyone and everyone and their father, you are taking on so much energy that is not yours. You don't know these people's demons, their insecurities, their negative thoughts about themselves, the world, and or you. And when you sleep with them, you're inviting that energy into your womb, which is the center of where you create from. That's your cosmic egg. The points where energy stirs in potential, just waiting for you to activate it. And you're going to allow someone random to just perpetrate, to just plug their energy right up in there? I don't think so. Hookup culture is an egregore. An egregore is a collective entity or energy field created by group consciousness. For example, gang mentality is a type of egregore. When one person throws a brick, suddenly they're all hyped up and everyone's throwing a brick. They're not thinking for themselves. There is a larger entity that's moving through them. Hookup culture is an egregore because it sucks you into insecurity, emptiness, and wounded female and masculine energies. Okay? Hookup culture is an egregore because once you are intimate with that person and sexual transference happens, you stop thinking for yourself. You stop listening to your intuition and you stop using your logical mind. And it's as if you are just a puppet on a string. The reason you feel so crazed or obsessed with that person is because you've given them your energy and taken on theirs. And it's fogging up your system. Hookup culture, once it gets its hooks into you, starts operating and dictating your decisions, your thoughts, your energy for you. And that's why you might sleep with another random person and then you might feel insecure. That's not you. Those decisions are not coming from your truth. They're coming from this entity. Those actions are not coming from your truth. They're coming from this entity of insecurity, of rushing you, of wounded masculine energies. This is not who you are. And the only way to exit the system is to starve it. Break out of this matrix, this entity, this hookup culture by practicing abstinence. This is not about restriction, but learning how to master your energy. You can't master your energy when you're giving it to Josh and Tom and taking on theirs. You become fragmented, confused, insecure. You have to be so conscientious of where you're not just putting your focus, but your body and how it's affecting you. When you step away from these connections that you're engaging with sexually, you're going to start to feel reassurgence of energy. You're going to become a clearer channel. It's going to be easier for you to recognize that negative thought isn't even me. I don't even believe that. But you can't do that when you are plugged in to an entity that is now deciding for you. Instead of allowing just anyone into the bedroom, why don't you ask yourself, is this man really ready to sit at the altar of who I am? Is this man worshiping the divine within himself and therefore ready to worship the divine within me? Or is he a man-child? Perhaps these are questions we reflect on. Is this man ready to rise and meet me? Is this man ready to not just receive from a divine feminine, but to give? Or is he a man-child? And men, you do the same thing. You have to ask yourself, is this woman steeped in her divinity? Is this woman listening to her intuition? Is this woman confident in herself, knows her worth, knows her values? That's what you need to be asking yourself. Your body, your soul, your sensuality, this world, none of it's casual. So why we're trying to be casual now, I don't understand modern society. I don't get it. I think we're all brainwashed. I don't get it. Why we're trying to be casual around something that's so divine and so mystical? What? Doesn't make any sense to me, but sure, keep sleeping with everyone. Number 9, the number of completion. Let God write your love story for you. You are not waiting. I want to remind you, you're aligning with your true essence, aligning with your mission. And by doing that, you're drawing your divine counterpart closer to you every single day. The Essene community, the mystics that raised Mary and Jesus, didn't go around just dating casually, sleeping with everyone. No, they sought divine union and they asked their elders for guidance. They were aligned in partnership based on their astrology, spiritual compatibility, and God's timing. Why aren't we doing this anymore? You don't need more swipes. You need sacred alignment. How do we do that? Whether you work with a coach like me or a shaman or a Reiki practitioner or a therapist, that's all fine and dandy, but you actually have to go one step further. You need to be asking the divine to help you. Specifically, I always call on the Blessed Mother, who was apparently the person who aligned Mary Magdalene and Jesus. So I always ask her, Mary, give me the correct person that's under my divine right in this season so I can experience what I need to experience. Or Blessed Mother, give me my divine partner that's under my divine right. I'm ready for divine union. Let your next love story, instead of being dictated by insecurity, fear, hookup culture, or your logical brain solely, let this next love story be a divine collaboration, not a coping mechanism. A divine collaboration where you rest into God's love story for you. You think that God that created you and everything on this planet doesn't know how to create a good love story? God is the greatest artist. Just look at any sunset, any mountain, any body of water or fields or flowers. God is the greatest artist. I mean, damn, look at yourself, girl. So why wouldn't God create a beautiful love story for you? Instead of trying to control it through the dating app or placing yourself in situations you don't even want to be in just to meet someone, surrender to God. Say, God, I know this is on divine timing and I trust your timing. I trust you know what's best for me. I tried doing it myself, didn't work. So now I'm open to divine collaboration. Ask the Blessed Mother to put your divine counterpart in your path, to align you, and to give you the discernment that you know it's them, and to give them the discernment that they recognize you. Feel free to also call energetically on your spouse whenever you want. You actually can connect to your future spouse and feel them, see them before you ever physically meet them, and really allow yourself to bask in that frequency. Put on a rose frequency or a third eye frequency, a sacral frequency, and intend to connect with your future spouse. Say, divine, connect me spiritually to my spouse right now. And you're going to start to feel their energy. And it's going to feel like safety and love. And it's going to feel like devotion. And when you feel that, you're going to be like, damn, I really refuse to accept anything but this. I'm going to wait for this. I'm going to surrender to this because I know as a lover person, it's what I'm meant to receive. You are not asking for too much. You're just finally refusing to abandon yourself. This culture has tried to dilute what love is. They have tried to recode our frequency, but this is our very own love revolution. Do not chase love. Do not beg for it. Instead, just be it. Let this be your survival guide. But more than that, let this be your remembrance, where you finally come back home to yourself, to your essence, to your lover girl, your lover boy, your lover human self. I love you so much. Thank you for being here with me. I'm sending you all the love in the world, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Mwah!